Hello and welcome to this video on bonsai terms. Bonsai as a general concept has a lot of different words that are used on a regular basis that are not immediately obvious. This video will give you a short and simple explanation of some bonsai terms. The first of these is Yamadori. This is a term which almost literally translates as collecting trees from the mountain. It is used more generally to mean collecting from the wild. This owes to a wider range of available locations to collect specimens from now than when the term first originated. It is used variously as an adjective for what you are working with. For example, Yamadori pine may be the description for a pine tree taken from the wild or a garden. This will often be large and more impressive as a beginning bonsai. Shohin is the exact opposite of this. These are small bonsai, nominally between 15 and 20 centimeters. This is 6 to 8 inches. Shohin are what most people imagine when they think of a bonsai. This is just one of the specific names for a size of bonsai tree. Although not used frequently, it is a useful means of formally describing your tree or trees. Mame is another specific category of bonsai defined by size. These are trees under 10 centimeters or 4 inches. They are proportionally small-leaved specimens. The next term is Nebari. This describes an area of the tree, the space between where the trunk begins and the roots begin. This flare at the base of the tree is part of the trunk's taper. The root base here is part of the radiating root structure and forms part of the bonsai tree's fit in the pot. This is almost an integral part of any standard bonsai, and can be worked around and developed if needed. This has a direct flow-on effect to the trunk taper. Ramification is the opposite end of the tree. This is the division and branching of trees to create finer structures with smaller leaves. This is an important process if you want a nicer looking tree with proportionally sized leaves. It involves cutting back branches so they fork and create multiple new branches. These smaller branches obviously carry smaller leaves. For flowering plants, this has a carry-on effect of sustaining smaller flowers. Banyan is another term describing the tree. In this case, it describes how the tree is grown with roots that appear to dramatically hang from the tree. This can be from the trunk and branches. It is a common feature of tropical fig trees. Raft is another term. It is a style of tree in which you have effectively turned your tree on its side. This turns the trunk into a raft. This makes a kind of forest from a single tree with the branches forming the trunks of new trees in your forest. It creates a scene from a single tree. Sai-kai is related to this. It is a broader term to describe a bonsai planting that creates a miniature landscape. It can be a forest, mountain, copse, or more. The scene is often composed of rocks, water, and other plants that complement the tree in this scenario. Tanuki is the last term for this video, and the most interesting. It is a method of creating a very artistic bonsai tree from saplings and driftwood. It involves the growing of a sapling along a piece of driftwood or deadwood. This results in a tree that looks like the driftwood is regrowing and recovering. This also leads to its second and more common Western name, Phoenix graft. The entire approach and concept is somewhat controversial based on which side of the fence you sit. This owes to the fact that it is a direct cheat, not a deception based on appearances. As you are using two separate components, a piece of driftwood and a tree, you are essentially trying to combine two things that do not go together normally. These were 10 terms that may not be familiar to new bonsai artists. Knowing what they are may help in describing your tree in a formal document, or if you put it into an exhibition. Knowing others may help when reading blog posts, guides, and books. The last is a landmine in forums and discussions. Knowing about this will avoid some trouble for you, or allow you to handle it in a more appropriate manner. Thank you for watching this video. If it has been of interest, consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Please post any comments, questions, or suggestions below.